I mean, I come from the public education system. Sekolah kebangsaan, sekolah menengah, went to boarding school, a military school, went to a public university, only then pursuing my studies in Singapore. But I come from that public education system, saying that I see that if we don't have the courage to reset it, we're looking at the decline in quality of public education system, but what I fear the most, one which is mono-ethnic. I mean, look at the numbers today. Not just Chinese Indian parents, including Malay middle class parents, are willing to spend 25% of their disposable income per month to send their children to private and international schools because of a lack of faith in public education. That's not a small number. Ask the parents who are alumni of good public education or public schools, for example in PJ, there are a lot, and ask where they send their children and grandchildren to, and you'll realize that this is a severe problem, and that's where you look. Not just is it a quality gap, now it's also becoming a racial gap, and that's an issue. But what's most worrying, while this is the case, politicians and ministers who are in power are not daring enough to reset public education despite knowing that there's a problem. I remember when I spoke about it passionately in cabinet, outside of cabinet, now in opposition, you cannot shake the status quo. Then you'll be seen to be anti-Malay, anti-Islam, because you were talking about shifting subjects, shifting priorities. But when they tell that to me, oh, why you want to keep on prioritizing English? What about the national language? Well, they point a finger to me. The same people who say I'm hurting Islam and Malay when it comes to our education system are the ones who are sending their children to private schools, international schools, heck, even Tadika in France, going to boarding school in UK, in Eton College. And yet they're saying, don't shake the system. But they themselves don't even trust our country to begin with for public education. So it is building a system where the rich of the rich can go to the best of schools and the poorest of poorest will forever be left behind because of their hypocrisy in wanting to change that system, but yet want your children to have an upper hand in life. I think that's the biggest hypocrisy in Malaysia, and I think we have to fight these politicians to ensure that we reset and shape our system for all Malaysians.